Hey, fifth grade. So today we're going to be going over 6.5 common fractions, adding mixed numbers, related denominators. So in 6.4, we were doing unrelated denominators, which is when you have to change both of the fractions. But with related denominators, we only have to change only one fraction, or in this case, mixed numbers. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's get started. Owen bought these two strips of wood for a picture frame. So he bought a piece of wood that was 5 1/4 feet and 7 1/2 feet. How would you calculate the total length? Look at these students' methods. So he needs to figure out how many, he needs to figure out what the total length is. So he's going to be adding 5 1/4 plus 7 1/2. So let's look at these two people, how they did it. So Fiona, let's make this up so you can see. So Fiona thought it would be easier to add the lengths using improper fractions. This is what she wrote. So she changed 5 1/4 feet into 15 halves, or I'm sorry, she changed 7 1/2 feet to 15 halves, and then she turned 5 1/4 feet to 21 fourths. And just to give you a refresher on how she did that, so 7 1/2, 7 1/2. So to change a mixed number into an improper fraction, you do 2 times 7, which is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. And so she did 15, and then we take the denominator over 2. And that's what she did with that too. So she added those together. Alan added the whole numbers and then the fractions. So what he did was he took the 7, and then he did the 5. Then he took the 1/2 and the 1/4, and he wrote those out that way. Okay, so we're going to solve both of these to see how they did it. Remember, the denominators have to be the same, and we're only going to change one of them. Because remember, they're related. And what that means is, well, look at this. 2 goes into 4 evenly. And how many times does 2 go into 4? 2 times. So I think I'm going to change this 15 over 2 into fourths so I can add them together. Because remember, we don't add the denominators together. They always stay the same. So our denominator is going to be a 4. So let's work this out. 15 over 2, we want it to be 4. So 2 times 2 gets us to 4. 15 times 2 is 30. So we're going to be doing 30 fourths, plus 21 fourths. So 30 plus 21 is 51. So she got 51 fourths. That's how long both pieces of wood are in an improper fraction. Okay, now Alan over here, now he's going to end up getting a mixed number because he's going to add the wholes and then the fractions. Okay, so let's look at the fractions first. We're going to do the same thing we did over here, but with smaller numbers, which is why I kind of like Alan's method better, because you're not going to have to, multiply 15 by 2. You're just going to do 1. So let's look at this. We're going to change our half to fourth. So take our half. We want it to be in fourths. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. So that means that we're, instead of doing the half, well, it's still half, but it's written differently to match 2. So 7 plus 5 is 12, and 2 fourths plus 1/4 is 3 fourths. Okay, so that was how Alan did it. So before they add, what would they need to do to the fractions? Well, they need to change the denominators or the fractions. How do you think they will figure out the total? Well, once they change the fractions, they're able to add them together. So we're going to be doing that down here. And remember, I want you to pay attention to what it asks you to do in the instructions. Because here it wants an improper fraction, but on later numbers, it's going to want a mixed number. So we're going to be using Fiona's method first. So we're going to be using improper fractions. All right, so we're doing 3 1/4 plus 2 3/8. And remember, improper. So what the best thing we could do first is change these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So remember, we're going to do 4 times 3, which is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So we're going to have 13 over 4 plus 8 times 2 is 16, and then 16 plus 3 is 19. So we're going to have 19 over 8. but we're gonna need to change these denominators. So I'm gonna change the 4 because 4 goes into 8 evenly, and I'm only gonna change this one. I don't have to change this one because remember, we're doing related denominators. So let's take our 13 over 4 to be 8. So 4 times what gets us to 8? 2. So 13 times 2 is 26. So we'll be doing 26 over 8 plus 19 over 8, which gets us to, let's do this. All right, 15, carry my 1. That'll be 45. So my answer is 45 eighths, because I don't add those denominators. So 45 eighths is my answer. Okay, and you're going to do this exact same thing over here. Remember, you're going to change these to improper fractions. You're going to add the improper fractions together. Alrighty, let's move on to our next page. Alrighty. So calculate each, calculate each total using mixed numbers. So we're going to be doing what Alan did over here. Okay, let me move that up. Okay, so we're going to be taking apart the mixed number to add them together. Alrighty, so let's break this down. So we're going to do 1 plus 4. We're going to do plus 4 fifteenths plus 2 fifths. All right. So we already know that we're going to add 1 plus 4 together, which is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 here. Now we need to do 4 fifteenths plus 2 fifths. And remember, we're going to have to change this one because 5 goes into 15 evenly. It goes 3 times. So let's change our 2 fifths into fifteenths. Let's take our 2 fifths. We want it to be 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6. So our new answer will be 6 fifteenths plus 4 fifteenths, which is 10 fifteenths. So we'll bring that up here and we'll do 5 and 10 fifteenths. That's your answer. So it's as simple as that. And Alan's method is a little bit simpler because you're just breaking it down. You're not actually changing the mixed number. You're just simplifying it. You're going to do the same thing over here, all right? You're going to have a mixed number. Now down here on number 3, they let you choose. So you can use Fiona's method where you convert it into, or I'm sorry, you change it into an improper fraction, or you can use Alan's and you can break it down, okay? So I'm gonna let you choose those. I'm gonna have you guys do those on your own. So down here, I'm just gonna get you guys started on this, okay? Calculate the perimeter of the mirror frame. Write the answer as a mixed number and show your thinking. So we're gonna calculate the perimeter, and I want the answer over here to be a mixed number, so not an improper fraction if you use Fiona's method. So what do we know about perimeter? Perimeter is the distance all the way around this frame. So this frame is 3.5 feet long, and then it's, and then, yeah, 2 and 3/8 feet wide. So we see here that, our denominators are different. So we're gonna have to convert these already. So we know that over here, it's 3 1/2, and over here is 2 3/8. Because I'm not just gonna be adding these two together. I'm also gonna be adding these two with these all together because I wanna know each side, the total length around the frame. All right, so to get you started on that, we're gonna go ahead and do the 3 1/2. I'm gonna show you how to do the 3 1/2 together and keep it as a mixed number. So we'll take our 3 plus our 3 plus our half plus our half. Okay, I'm just gonna do these two sides together first because they have the same denominator, so I wanna add these together first. All right, so we know that 3 plus 3 is 6, and we know that 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1, it's 1 whole. But instead of writing it as 6 and 2 over 2, because that's a whole, I'm just gonna write 7 because that means that there's a whole with the 6. So it's better to just write it as a 7, so 7 feet. Now I'm gonna be adding 7 feet to these two. All right, so I've gotten you guys started on that. Go ahead and work it out on your own. If you're having issues with these, just let me know whenever we meet over Google Meets, or you can message Miss Karleskint